Hello everyone, and welcome to another casual Total Drama video, and in this one, I will be ranking all the elimination methods that have appeared in Total Drama. So, if you remember, after each elimination ceremony, the eliminated contestant gets to use some kind of transportation to get off the island. The elimination methods that have appeared are the Boat of Losers, which should not be confused with the Dock of Shame. The Dock of Shame is the dock itself, not the elimination method. We also had the Lame-O-Sine, Drop of Shame, Hurl of Shame, Flush of Shame, Cannon of Shame, and finally the Drone of Despair. So a total of 7 methods. Before I rank, I want to announce that the Total Drama interactive live streams are coming back soon. If you don't know what it is, it's basically a live stream where the chat plays through a whole season of Total Drama with challenges and twists. New for the upcoming live stream is that chat will get the opportunity to control and play as one of the contestants. In this update, more new features will be added, such as a relationship system, alliances, betrayals, and much more. I can also reveal that the theme will be the original cast versus the reboot cast, and there will be a mix of fan favorites, loved, underrated, and hated characters. So be sure to come and join and have fun with me and everyone else. So here is how the ranking system will be based on. First off, I want to see how unique it is. How different is this from the other methods? Is the method good? And was it executed in a good way? Then, how different were each elimination? If the elimination were the same and boring, it could get repetitive and score lower. But if the eliminations were different and had some drama or interactions, it could boost the score. I will also look at the theme and whether the elimination method fits with the season. With all that said, let's take a look at how I ranked each Total Drama elimination method. First of all, we have the Flush of Shame from Total Drama All-Stars. On paper, this sounds like a fun concept. A toilet and the eliminated contestants are poop that gets flushed. Haha, very funny, right? However, to me, it wasn't funny or anything. It just felt like they didn't care about the toilet aspect of this method. Like, they got grossed out one time and it was the first time. But that was it. It just feels unnecessary. It's also huge and is a part of the island, so it just looks so odd and weird. Also, it was very quick, so there were not so many memorable eliminations. The following pattern is what basically happened in every episode. Someone gets the last marshmallow, a flip transition, then the eliminated contestant says a last sentence, and then a cut to Chris taking out his umbrella to not get wet. It was just fast and repetitive. The only ones that stood out in my opinion were Heather's because she pushed Alejandro, and Alejandro as he screamed. Other than those, not many were memorable or good. The only thing that was good that came with this was the bonus clips. After each episode, there was a bonus clip where each person landed in a random place they visited on the world tour and had a kind of interaction, where it seemed like most of them almost died. These bonus clips are the biggest plus of this elimination, as each clip, in my opinion, was very funny. My favorites are Lindsay's, Lightning's, Heather's, and Alejandro's clips. Yes, the clips were funny, but it seemed like they only aimed for humor. They didn't really add anything extra to the elimination, unlike previous season where the bonus clips provided insight and thought on the eliminated contestant. The only one that was important, I guess, was Alejandro's bonus clip, as it confirmed his and Heather's relationship. Overall, the Flush of Shame was just meh, a good idea but very badly executed. And why it was so boring was because nothing happened. It was all the same, and there was not much drama. Now we have the Drone of Despair from seasons 1 and 2 of the reboot. This one really hurt. I love these seasons, both of them. Yes, there are some flaws, but it's still one of the top seasons. Now I think the drone is very decent. It's a more modern method compared to the others, which are kinda traditional. So the drone does fit the theme of the reboot very well. Despite this being a pretty decent elimination method, I think we all have the same reason why it won't rank so high, and that is that it was repeated again in the second season. I think we all got disappointed when we saw that the drone was going to be the elimination method again in season 2, mostly because we all expected something new, so that was a big letdown. Because of it being reused again, it wasn't really exciting and got kinda boring because we knew how it worked. So in the second season, the method just got repetitive. However, it does have a plus, and that is the walk on the dock of shame on their way to the drone. It's a depressing walk, either alone or with Chris, with a longer confessional on their thoughts on being eliminated. I really like that part, as we get an insight into how they feel about being eliminated, rather than the usual anger or sadness. The next one might shock you as well, because why is Hurl of Shame not at the bottom of the list? Now, I do have to agree that the catapult might be kinda random though, but I think the eliminations in Revenge are very good as they are dramatic. Meanwhile, Pakitu's were funnier. Which is next in the ranking, yes. That's a spoiler. I will explain why I like these two in the other one, so I don't have to repeat myself. They also introduced the toxic marshmallow of Laserdom, but that thing was so irrelevant after Queen Stacy touched it. So that one won't affect the ranking of this one, but the eliminations here are very great. We have B about saying his first word, Dawn in a bag. How she survived, I have no idea. Dakota taking it 3 times, and Stacy taking it while being bald. Now, some of them were pretty bad and quick. Like Zoe's elimination was very fast, but it had the build-up before she was launched, and Anne-Maria quitting was the worst one because it shouldn't have happened. She should have won the season, period. This one is not that much better than the other two. On a scale from 1 to 10, this one is still just a 5. Okay, I know that a lot of you hate Total Drama Pakitu Island, so the Canon of Shame is automatically last place for many of you. So you are probably thinking, why is Hurl of Shame, and especially Canon of Shame, so high on this list? Yes, the canon is a very basic idea, probably the most basic elimination method, but there are a few things here I think need some praise on this one. And no, it's not just my bias for the season, but other factors. Well, it's similar to the Hurl of Shame, where they had a pretty basic method but improved by having many of the eliminations be so different and unique. Many of you think the canon is pretty random, but it does make sense and fits the season theme, as Paketu means explode in the Cree language, which is referenced a few times in the season, such as the original team name. What I like about this method, and the Hurl of Shame, is how they made a very basic and boring elimination method pretty unique, as most of the eliminations are very different from each other, despite using the same method. All of the eliminations here are weird and unique. The most boring one was probably Jasmine's one because she is boring, so that's fitting. Yes, I said what I said, and I stand by it. Wait, never mind, Sugar farted for like 20 seconds later, so no, that one was not boring. See, no one had a quote-unquote normal elimination. I would say that my favorites are probably Ella's and Sugar's, but each of them has some small details that just adds that extra oomph. For example, Beardo's sound effect, Rodney hitting a ship, and Scarlett getting thrown a bunch of marshmallows at her. I also like that they got helmets provided. See, that means Chris cares about them. A little, at least. Yes, I am biased for Pakitu Island, but I do think this elimination method deserves a higher ranking for its way of making the eliminations different and turning a basic method into a good one. So that's why Canon of Shame officially claims 4th place in this ranking. So, we have entered our top 3, and would you look at that, the top 3 are the first 3 seasons. How shocking is that? To be honest, I do think the Lameo-sine is pretty boring and pretty lame, but I do like the concept very much. The action season is set in a movie set, and them going out in a limousine does make sense and fit the season theme very well. It feels like they get their last chance in the spotlight, walking on the red carpet and going out as a star. One thing that stands out with this one, and the others I've talked about so far, is that this one doesn't launch or use pain as an exit. It's a goodbye and a simple ride home. I also feel this one isn't as sad or depressing as the others. This one feels more wholesome, and I don't feel as bad when they get eliminated in action, as most of them take it very well, such as Lindsay, Heather, and Izzy, E-Scope. The biggest plus is also the bonus clips that were provided after each elimination. These clips give us an insight into how everyone feels when they are eliminated. It's just nice to see them vent a little bit. Although the concept is good, the bonus clips also add to the score. I cannot rank it higher. As I said, this one was more of a wholesome elimination method. The downside of that is that it's pretty boring. Like, there wasn't much drama going on as all they basically did was say goodbye and leave, so I think third place is good. However, I totally understand if people put it lower. In second place, I have decided to put Boat of Losers from the original Total Drama Island. A lot of people confuse this with the Dock of Shame, but let me remind you that the Dock of Shame is just the dock. However, I will count it because it is a part of the method. But the Boat of Losers gives nostalgia. It's the first one that comes to mind if I think about a Total Drama Elimination Method. The reason I like this one is that it fits the theme of the season. It's simple, and there is drama to it. After getting eliminated and having to walk on the Dock of Shame and jump into the Boat of Losers, it just adds to the humiliation of getting eliminated. Most of them are pretty plain, and not much happens, but you still feel bad for them as they walk down the Dock of Shame. There are a few eliminations that stand out, and they are very memorable. We have Sadie and Katie reuniting, Lashana giving Harold a kiss, Lindsay's goodbye to everybody, and not getting eliminated during the night. And of course, who could forget Mr. Coconut's legendary elimination? I almost got teary-eyed watching it again. There are not many negatives about this one. It's very good, simple, and well executed. Seeing this one and comparing this one to all the new ones from Revenge and onwards is just day and night. This one is also so good that they reused the elimination method in the Take the Crown game, so technically, this one has been used 2 times. But that version gets last place because it looks a little bit weird, let's be honest. Why do they bend like that? I think Boat of Loser is a well-deserved second placer. Now we have one left, and if you have done the math, you can probably figure out which one is left. Well, if you haven't, it's the Drop of Shame from Total Drama World Tour. There are so many good things with this elimination method, so that's why it is in first place. First of all, the method fits the theme so well. I like how they stamp each other's passports. And one thing I noticed in this season is that they reveal who voted for each person. They don't usually show the votes in Total Drama, but I feel like they did this a lot in World Tour, and I really appreciated it as it was clearer who each vote landed on. Then, as they got eliminated, they had to jump off the plane with a parachute, which, in my opinion, makes sense. Yes, it's painful, but it does fit the whole World Tour theme. Why the eliminations were good was because the elimination ceremony was right next to the exit, so the remaining contestants could see as the person they just voted off jump off. This added a few interactions and some drama. For example, during Blanley and Courtney's elimination, you could see how it added some extra conflict. Then we have another bonus point, and that is the bonus clips that were added after each elimination. They are funny, but one thing it does provide is relief. Because of how bad the parachute looks and how they often get pushed out by Chris, you might think they probably died or are close to dying. But these bonus clips show us how they all landed. And thankfully, they are still alive. My favorite clips are Bridget's, Lindsay's, and Courtney's. The eliminations this season were also very good. There were some good ones that added to the main plot, like Bridget's and Lashana's. We had some fun ones like Lindsay's, Owen's, or Blanley's. Then we had a few dramatic ones like Sierra's, or especially Gwen, who had a tiebreaker. Too bad she had a disadvantage, though. Although I do like World Tour in general, there is one big flaw with the elimination, and it's the order. I really dislike how they eliminated everyone in Team Victory early on, mostly because they had some of my favorite characters. But it was just annoying seeing them lose, and every time they won or got second, it suddenly was a non-elimination. Yes, I know they need plot armor for someone like Heather, but instead, they could just add more contestants. Overall, the Drop of Shame just has so many good things and ticks almost all the boxes that are required for a high ranking, so that's why this one got the highest ranking. And looking at the community post I posted, it seems that many of you like it too, as many of you had it in the top 3. The one we also agreed on was Flush of Shame, as it seemed most of you did not like that one and put it last. Everything else was a mixed bag. I don't think any of you guys had the same ranking as me. That was a long video. It has been a while since I just yapped about Total Drama. So if you want me to rank and talk about more things, like characters, seasons, episodes, Or if you have other ideas, then just comment below. But I think I will end this video here, and I do not have much to say, except thanks for watching this one. Be sure to subscribe and like this video, and be sure to check my channel often to join the Total Drama Interactive livestream. I would love to have you there so we can create some chaos with everyone else in chat. So that was it. Thank you for staying until the end, and we will see each other in the next one. Bye.